TIL. That the 1988 film Willow featured a two-headed dragon called an Eborsisk, meant to be a reference to film critics Siskel and Ebert. Siskel and Ebert gave the film 2 thumbs down. A movie that survives on nostalgia. I was baffled it got a reboot, but the algorithm is fucking stupid sometimes. It's such a slog of mid-80s fantasy carried by some great performance, and Lucasfilm effects, but with none of the energy that Spielberg would bring on the Jones productions. You can see how essential he was to Lucas' overall success. TBH. Ron Howard was too early in his career to helm this emo, but he also has always struggled with big fantasy or even big fiction like this. I prefer him more grounded, telling human stories. He excels at that. Fun fact: the Eborsisk's faces are modeled after actor Clint Howard. Director Ron Howard often includes cameos for his brother in his movies, but couldn't find a role for him in Willow. So he had the art department use Clint's face as a reference. In the American Godzilla from 1998, New York City's Mayor Ebert is an overt and rather tasteless insert of Roger Ebert. Given how well the movie was received, Roland Emmerich might have been well advised to find another target. This happens all the time. The author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy made a reference to one of his classmates whom he detested but had to change it in later editions. It was something about his classmate's poetry, I think. Siskel and Ebert were really into the artsy stuff that most people wouldn't jive with anyway. Something like Willow that's made purely for entertainment would always get a negative reaction from them. We played the VHS to death. So glad there's a new remaster of the soundtrack with more Nelwyn Band music having their own tracks. Biggest win for a film score fan. R.I.P. James Horner. This sounds like a good excuse to whip out the video of Warwick Davis and Val Kilmer talking about the Blu-ray release of Willow. It's something. The Orc General in Lord of the Rings was modeled after Harvey Weinstein. The movie was objectively terrible. The acting was bad, the sets were cheesy, and the plot was stilted and awkward at best. That said, it was somehow still a great movie. How do you name a character in a movie based on reviewers of the movie that can only review the movie after it's already been released and the character already named? Willow was a great flick. I loved it as a child and I still like it now. Though I don't remember the two-headed dragon thing being called anything in the movie. They gave it the name before Siskel and Ebert saw the movie to give it 2 thumbs down. So they predicted they would give it 2 thumbs down, and then Kathleen Kennedy put out a series and ruined people's opinion of the IP, and the second season was cancelled. Unfortunate. A beautiful film. Gorgeous music, charismatic cast, amazing effects. In my reality this film will be incredibly popular. I honestly don't listen to movie critics. They always praise the movies I don't like and shit all over the movies I love. That movie was excellent. The proof lies with Disney trying to wring every ounce of nostalgia and money with the reboot. Millennials from NY might remember this. Channel 11 Books played Willow every Easter in the 1990s. If you somehow managed to make Ebert give you a negative review, you suck beyond belief. Why would they name the dragon after them? As I'm sure they did review pre-production. The shape-shifting scene was the cutting edge of VFX at the time. Best ever movie critic joke would have to be the Leonard Maltin cameo in Gremlins 2. Why were Siskel and Ebert so respected in retrospect? They hated so many classics. The character of General Kale in Willow is a reference to film critic Pauline Kael. Siskel and Ebert never met a genre flick that they didn't at least try to shit on. Siskel and Ebert Keck. People love being told what to do or what to like. SMFH. One of the most boring movies I have ever seen, and somehow I've seen it twice. Loved that movie as a kid. Still love it now, but it doesn't really hold up. Oh well, if 2 old guys say it's bad, I guess I shouldn't go see it. You guys claim MCU crap is good. Not surprised by the comments. That scene has been made so much better and it was pretty good. It's hard to do a good fantasy flick not based on a book. That movie was great. Val Kilmer is the fucking man.